Alright, about 5 minutes till kickoff. Big game.
We're also at the semi-final stage in the European Rugby. Coverage of Edinburgh Bath this Saturday in the Champions Cup from half two. Kickoff the Aviva in the Champions Cup. Any to another Champions Cup final. Then all the French teams are out on Sunday. Leon Racing is an early one, followed by Porto versus Toulouse in the second European Cup semi-final. We were talking there, we're not far away from kickoff now. Just time to chat a little bit about the Arsenal front three. We talked a lot about the PSG front three. Obviously, we mentioned Martinelli and in particular Saka. Trossard in there as the striker slash false nine, whatever you want to call it. Marino obviously did a pretty good job when he was there. Trossard has been in good form though.
Yeah, he's a tricky difference. I say that because Marino's just more of a physical presence.
Even through the darkest it's fine.
Yeah, very technically sound, unbelievable player. Just that, yeah, that physical presence.
Shane, who do you like more there? Shay, I should say. Marino or...
Do you like Shane? Tricky for old Shane.
Everybody, so good to have you with us. I'm Kate Scott, alongside three men feeling the full spectrum of football emotions today. Thierry Henry anxious to...
Hello. Hello.
When they lost
Hello.
the semi-finals of the FA Cup, he bounced back on Sunday when Manchester City won their semi. Money might buy you an ambassador, but it can't buy you love. And tonight, the Arsenal. Yes. Yes.
Just spoke about the absence of parity in that central midfield there. You think the small weakness in Arsenal's left-hand side and against the very best.
Players are in the tunnel.
So gonna lean towards PSG tonight, yeah.
Okay, Shane, you've gone for an Arsenal win. I've gone for an even bigger Arsenal win. I think they could do it, and we'll wait and see then what happens in the second leg. It's really building up nicely at the Emirates. Your commentators are Gary and Rob.
This match is brought to you by Crypto.com, UEFA Champions League official sponsor.
Thanks, Owen. It is the biggest game at the Emirates for 16 years, and you can feel the excitement and the edge ahead of Arsenal's
Shit, bro, big game, man.
Semi-final since 2009. And while nothing will top the comfort of a win over Real Madrid, this game is further down the road to Munich.
Alright, they're walking out. Holy shit. Here it is.
Like Arsenal, Paris Saint-Germain have never won Europe's Premier Club prize, but the Final Four is familiar territory for them. During this run as well, the French champions have been the Premier League slayers. Aston Villa and Liverpool beaten Manchester City in the league phase. And while they did lose here back in October, much has changed in the 7 months since.
Yeah.
2,500 in the away end on a fine spring evening in the north of the capital for Arsenal against Paris Saint-Germain.
Hello. Alright, sing the anthem.
meeting with them, there was a hope that Arsenal could win. I think there's an expectation now that they can win this game. Arsenal was so good 7 months ago against Luis Enrique's PSG team, but that PSG team has evolved, matured beyond belief. They have been so impressive.
Arsenal are as expected ahead of David Raya, with Gabriel still out injured. Jakob Kivior keeps his place in the back four. Thomas Partey's suspension and Jorginho's injury means Declan Rice is repurposed in holding midfield. And with Mikel Moreno needed alongside him, Leandro Trossard is the designated centre-forward. Ben White is fit enough for the bench. Havertz, Gabriel Jesus and Calafiori amongst the absent tonight.
Alright, bro.
Declan Rice was the star of the show against Real Madrid. Let's see how he does in a slightly altered role. Slavko Vincic, bizarrely, was the referee for this fixture back in October, but he is one of UEFA's highest regarded officials. No surprise he has a semi-final here, having taken charge of the 2024 Champions League final between Real Madrid and Borussia Dortmund. Martin and Marquinhos, the respective skippers tonight. Paris Saint-Germain's team is a settled one. Donnarumma was key at Villa Park in the quarter-final, as were goal scorers Achraf Hakimi and Nuno Mendes at fullback. The midfield is set in stone. Vitinha, Fabian Ruiz and Joao Neves will keep them ticking, while Desiree Doué gets the nod over Bradley Barcola to play an attack with Kvaratskhelia and Dembele, who scored 24 goals in the calendar year. Every single player available. This was their team for a weekend game against Nice in Ligue 1, one which they lost. Well, before kick-off tonight,
We're gonna do a little memorial to Pope Francis.
Silence in honour of Pope Francis, who passed away last week at the age of 88.
Alright.
Once again on the way tonight, Gary.
Holy shit, bro. Any of the last four can win it, bro. It's huge. Hello.
Been particularly good. Certainly against Liverpool, they showed their quality, and this team is a maturing team, a young, vibrant
Oh my god, no.
team that has such. Of Pope Francis last week.
Oh my god. Game's off. Cool. Oh my god, dude. Fuck.
Tonight as well.
What the hell?
Mikel Arteta with his rally cry.
Clash of styles, very stubborn in defence.
Arteta
Throwing for Arsenal.
with his rally cry and a kick off tonight.
Tactic straight away. PSG was expected to play through the Spurs. They just put that ball into Arsenal's back line so they can press high. Initially saying to Arsenal, okay, let's see how good you are playing in your own defensive zone when we try and put the press on.
Timber throws it in, finds Saka.
Now to make home advantage pay against
Goes all the way back to Saliba.
They won't want to leave the back door open against
Hits
these
it forward.
No, you're absolutely right, Clive. And it's an interesting
Here's
test
Saka.
Arsenal have gone for. You're looking at Declan Rice, who's alongside Nico Marino.
Dembele.
But two of them sitting deep and sitting flat. Very aware of this man, Dembele.
He's very motivated, bro. Carvajal finds Fabian Ruiz, or is that João Neves? Vitinha. Here's Mendy. PSG win a throw-in.
Mikel Arteta won't be concerned if Paris Saint-Germain see a little bit more of the ball than Arsenal. He won't hesitate to set his team up to counter-attack even in the home leg.
Pancho finds Marquinhos. Arsenal pressing high. Here's Pancho. Vitinha. Back to Donnarumma. Marquinhos. Hakimi. Sends it long. Straight to the Arsenal defense. There's Raya. Good ball to Kiwior. Loses it. Holy shit, that's a foul. Thank you. Kiwior already getting Arsenal in some trouble. They fucked up the pass. Vitinha. Wide to Mendes. Carvajal dropping deep to try and get it, but Mendes goes backwards. Here's Marquinhos. Finds Hakimi. Hakimi. Vitinha. Wide to, I think that's Hakimi. João Neves finds Dembele, back to Thingy. Wait, hold on.
The central pivot of the PSG midfield. Ball retrieved by João Neves. Here is Achraf Hakimi. PSG just trying to draw Arsenal stick.
Mendes sends it long. Here's Thingy. Dembele carrying the ball. Wide to Kvaratskhelia. Made him run a little bit towards it. Going right at Timber. Goes back to Dembele. Has it. Holy shit. Goal Dembele. Fucking hell. 3 minutes in. 1-0. What the fuck? Great finish by Dembele. I'm telling you, bro. This guy's different with PSG. He's just motivated in a different way that he's never been before. Good goal. What the fuck? Great finish by Dembele, bro. Kvaratskhelia sprints into the box, targets Timber, and then finds Dembele on the edge of the box. Great goal. 1-0 PSG. This is a different game from earlier in the season, bro. This team is different.
That one will feel all more precious. That's perfect from PSG. And that movement of the midfield, that movement of Dembele finding that space. And this man, Kvaratskhelia, on the ball. During Timber just backs off, and by then it's too late. The setback is there. It's a brilliant finish because it's not the most.
Exactly what he's doing, Marino, just to make sure that he took the hit.
Last month, they scored after 11 minutes at Aston Villa 2 weeks ago. They've scored inside 4 minutes here in London tonight. It must be something in the English air. And Arsenal are going to need all their calm and resilience.
Here's Rice.
To shake
Goes to
the
Skelly. He's nowhere to go. Foul by Doué.
Talked about Nico Marino, just sitting a little bit deeper in midfield, and Dembele still found that space. He's still able to get so much room in the centre of midfield, just to turn and then go, and Arsenal backed off and backed up. This man sets up your game plans. You can play how you want, but you're down to your players to execute it. Not sure he was expecting it to be done that well.
8 goals in his last 9 Champions League.
Raya sends it long.
And 7 of those away from Paris.
Hakimi hits it out, throwing for Arsenal.
In the PSG shirt. Never scored more than 14 in a club season before this one. But his role has changed, and he has adapted to it brilliantly. And Arsenal are behind for the first time in the knockout rounds.
Skelly throws it in, finds Trossard. Throwing for Arsenal again, hits off Hakimi. Skelly throws it into the box, Martinelli heads it. Donnarumma catch. He's trying to play it quick, but decides not to. Here's Pancho. Finds Mendes. Hits it down. Handball by Timber.
Exactly, head on them momentarily for PSG. So Arsenal have got to stay composed, stay true to their game plan. The only certainty is that Paris Saint-Germain will not go into a shell and try to defend that lead. I'm not sure they know how to. Not the starting plan.
Donnarumma sends it long. Header won by Kvaratskhelia. Rice heads the second ball. PSG are first onto it. Here's Mendes. Goes all the way back to Donnarumma. Here's Pancho. Vitinha and Ruiz checking to it. Here's Mendes. Finds Kvaratskhelia. Holy shit, that was a lucky ass ball. Here's Vitinha. Here's Kvaratskhelia. Back to Ruiz. Marquinhos. Wide to Doué. Nice, Doué gets past the thingy. Goes back to Hakimi. Vitinha. Here's Dembele. Tries to float it over to Mendes, but it goes ahead. Here's Skelly. Back to Saliba. Here's Raya, finds Rice. Saliba, it's not a good ball though. It's behind him. Now here's Raya. Finds Rice, it's good. Here's Timber. Skelly. Rice. Switches it. Here's Marino, finds Martinelli. Cuts outside, crosses it. Corner for Arsenal.
I'm not sure you need to cheerlead the travelling Paris Saint-Germain fans. I think Marquinhos is out for a big night tonight. One of the taller players in the team, and we're looking at set pieces, and we talked about it before the game, and clearly the studio was talking about it.
Corner for Arsenal.
This is a real opportunity for Arsenal. See the line of Arsenal players who are south of the goal. They'll drift in. One of the main roles will be to stop Donnarumma coming off his line. Most goals from set pieces in Europe's top 5 leagues over the last 2 seasons. Arsenal. Declan Rice to take.
Cross sent in. It's dangerous. Here's Saka on the edge of the box. Got out by Ruiz. Hakimi will get to that. He's very fast. He gets to it. Gets pushed over. Foul for PSG.
He's away. Hakimi was away and had half the pitch to run into. There's the push and a leg, trailing leg as well, just to make sure from Trossard. Did everything he could to trip him up. And there we saw 2 game plans. The set pieces of Arsenal nearly paying off. And the pace of PSG. And PSG's record for defending set pieces is one of the poorest in France's top league. They conceded again from a Nice corner on Friday. Arsenal scored a...
Just passing by. Have a good stream, buddy. Alright, appreciate you, Caleb. Fuck with you heavy, bro.
Is an issue.
Thanks. Here's Pancho. Finds Fabian Ruiz wide. Here's Kvaratskhelia. Here's Desiree Doué. Cuts inside. Has it with his left foot. And Raya catches it.
Real problem, Arsenal here, because the midfield too, Rice and Marino, quite distant from Odegaard. He was more of the attacking midfielder. And that's
Here's
where
Raya.
he's going into.
Finds Saliba. Kvaratskhelia goes to pressure. He goes back to Raya.
No one. And all of a sudden
Back to
you've got
Saliba.
Sway, the blue shirts outside of the Arsenal players.
Saliba loses it.
Record in possession.
Ruiz wins the second ball. Nice. Here's Vitinha.
Vitinha. Arsenal nervous, hesitant.
Wide to Doué. Here's Pancho. Yeah, you can tell there's a bit of nerves from Arsenal. Saliba already messing up. Here's Vitinha. Back to Pancho.
Belly is in the orange boots there.
Here's Mendes.
That is very much Thomas Partey territory. And Arsenal are missing their
Nice. Ruiz flicks it to Hakimi.
It's a huge loss for them.
It's Fabian Ruiz.
So much power and authority into that midfield.
Back to Marquinhos.
Interesting, you see Dembele now again.
Ruiz.
Just below the referee. He's clearly finding that
Some
space.
Pancho.
License for that space.
Mendes. Kvaratskhelia. It's fouled by Timber.
Fouls in Ryan Gravenberch, the Liverpool midfield player. Describe Jurrien Timber as the best one-on-one defender in the world this week. He'll need to be tonight against Kvaratskhelia.
Kvaratskhelia. Here's Doué. Cuts inside, finds Hakimi. Back to Vitinha. Here's Marquinhos. Joao Neves.
So much movement.
Marquinhos. Dembele finds a little pocket.
Dembele is the anticipated.
Switches it wide to Kvaratskhelia. Dude, PSG are looking good right here. Here's Kvaratskhelia. Cuts inside, cuts back out. He'll take them both on
Holding the attentions of two
and wins a
players.
corner. Nice job.
Arsenal groggy here. It's like they've come out for the opening round, have been dumped on the canvas, and haven't quite cleared their heads yet. Tactically, they haven't quite got it right. They're outnumbered in so many areas, and the width is proving a problem because that creates the space. Dembele just drifting creates extra man.
Here's Doué. Sends a cross in.
Tossed in.
Headed out. Here's Marquinhos. Hits it to Hakimi, who has it. Blocked. Here's Vitinha. Hakimi again. He'll send the cross in.
Hakimi,
Headed by Marquinhos. Good save by Raya. Holy shit. It was straight at him, but still.
an attempt to clear their lines.
Oh my goodness.
An opportunity to clear their lines, which they failed to take. And they're bringing some of the problems on themselves.
Domination by PSG so far, bro.
He's been caught on the ball already. He got caught against Real Madrid.
Saliba finds Rice. Back to Raya. Yeah, they just can't play out like that. Good ball by Raya. It's perfect to Martinelli. Well done. And he gets fouled.
Finds a way to win a free kick. Look to take it quickly. Well, I think he's just trying to get Joao Neves harded there, and I think the referee knows a little bit too much about it. It'll just be a word of warning. Wasn't an Arsenal shirt in front of Martinelli in the PSG half, so it would have been an awful pass. It's interesting what you say about William Saliba, who made an error that conceded Real Madrid's only goal of the quarter-final and made another here last week in a similar situation in an English Premier League game which cost a goal for Crystal Palace. He's had such a good season, but he just seems to have hit a rocky spell. See there, they're just leaving him 1v1.
Raya sends it long again. Over everybody. Goal kick for PSG.
Dembele's goal inside of 4 minutes. See that space again from the midfield. The extra player gets dragged out wide. That's the space he's been
What a
looking
finish
for
by
wherever
Dembele,
it
bro.
is on the pitch, whether it's been in front of goal or on the halfway line. Just outside the midfield too. Just go and drift in there. Needs to find an answer. Luis Enrique left him out of his squad when PSG came here in October for disciplinary reasons. He said this week it's the best decision he's taken all season, but he also said that the rest was Dembele's decision, how to react, and he is so delighted with the way that he took that on the chin and has responded.
Here's Hakimi.
And has been one of the stars
Doué.
of this gathering.
Great ball to Vitinha, bro. Doué just finds a way out of everything. He's so good. Here's Dembele. Finds Ruiz. Wide to Hakimi. Runs into the box. Holy shit, got past two. Goes down. Asking for a pen. Pancho finds Mendes. They're still complaining. That'll definitely be seen again. Mendes sends it long to Ruiz. Saliba clears it. Second ball won by PSG. Here's Saliba again. Kvaratskhelia, no. Goes down to Saka. Plays it long. And Marquinhos goes back to Donnarumma. I don't know. We have to see it again if that's actually a pen. Here's Ruma. Pancho. Wide to Kvaratskhelia. Gets fouled. Second or third foul by Timber, bro. He's got to watch out or he might get a yellow.
Timber's going to do well to avoid a booking here. Now here is the penalty, and you can all play VAR at home. There was three of them. It's gone through. And there's an arm across. It's enough for me, Clive. He's beaten everyone. Jury Timber again. And it's such a deliberate act. Yep. I am amazed that the referee has not gone. Look at his view.
That could be a pen, you know, if they look at it again. They don't. Okay, cool. That should be a pen, but alright. Mendes finds Kvaratskhelia. Nice little flick onto Ruiz, but he's not able to get to it. Saliba goes back to Raya. Oh my god, almost got the ball taken off of him. Mendes heads it down to Vitinha. Nice job to find Pancho. Here's Marquinhos. Wide to Hakimi. Here's Vitinha. Doué. Vitinha. Fabian Ruiz. Here's Mendes. Kvaratskhelia. Back to Ruiz. Glides past Saka, finds Kvaratskhelia. Back to Ruiz.
If we go too tight one side, they've got numbers on the other side. They just don't know how to put pressure on PSG right now.
Here's Vitinha. Finds Pancho. Marquinhos. Sends it long. Nice by Saliba to win the header. Pancho wins the second ball. PSG just that second or every second ball, bro. Here's Doué. Here's Donnarumma. Pancho getting open on the other side. He finds Pancho. Mendes. Great ball to Kvaratskhelia. It's another foul. I mean, that's a yellow, bro. That's like 4 or 5 fouls on Kvaratskhelia. I don't know what else Timber needs to do to not get a yellow. I mean, come on. Yeah. I mean, how does he not have a yellow yet? Come on.
Very thin ice. He's met his match tonight, Kvaratskhelia. Arsenal do have the likes of Gabriel and Calafiori. Havertz on the injured list, as well as Partey's suspension to deal with. Paris Saint-Germain without an injury.
Vitinha goes back to Pancho.
Anywhere in their senior squad, this is everything they've got. Which is is a rarity at this stage.
Here's Marquinhos. Finds Hakimi wide. Or is that Doué? Yeah, it's Doué. Pancho. Mendes sends it long again. Timber wins the header that time. Here's Rice. Plays a great ball to Odegaard. Here's Saka. Nice tackle by Mendes, but they're still in. Here's Odegaard. Cross sent in. Holy shit, Marquinhos gets taken out. Doué's first of the ball. That's an obvious foul, dude. As Marquinhos is getting into the air, Marino slams into him.
The manager applauds and bodies in the press better there and then committed bodies forward. It's real time. They've asked the question of PSG. It was a foul before by Trossard on Marquinhos. Arsenal are actually on an unbeaten run of 12 games, but they've drawn half of those.
Donnarumma sends it long.
Two quarter-final wins against Real Madrid, easily their best performances of the last month or so.
Here's Hakimi.
PSG were actually
Back to Marquinhos.
at the weekend, lost to French opponents for the first time all season on Friday.
Here's Donnarumma. Finds Pancho.
One of their last 4 games, but they haven't needed.
Great ball to Dembele, who takes it very well. Finds Mendes. Great job.
This is a different kind of.
Yeah, that's a dangerous ass ball, bro. Here's Marino.
This is what we saw against Liverpool.
Wide to Saka.
But here's Bukayo Saka.
This is the thing we've all been waiting for, that one-on-one with Mendes. Here's Timber. Back to Saka. Cross.
Saka. Delivered towards
Oh,
Marino.
shit. Here's Martinelli on the other side.
Martinelli.
Cross. Gotten out by Pancho. Here's Doué. Finds Hakimi. Nice. Nice job by Skelly to win it there. And he falls over. No foul, but yeah, ref calls it.
Just little shoots of hope for Arsenal. Just with a quarter of the game gone, signs of some foundations being laid. Yeah, best few moments for Arsenal, and they've managed to sort the press out. Finally getting it right, and they've had to commit bodies forward and basically leave spaces on one side of the defence to get the press on the other side of the pitch and leave a huge gaping hole behind them. But with that, they can get the pressure on PSG, then get the bodies forward and so win the ball back like Lewis Skelly did then. Here comes another of Arsenal's rehearsed free kicks. Skipper Martin Odegaard will take this. Not of 4 players on the move. There's a dress rehearsal.
Taking a while to take this, bro.
Part of the facade.
Odegaard sends the cross in. Header by Moreno, but straight at Donnarumma. What was that, Kiwior?
Confused or bemused, I'm not sure which. Well, you can see what they're trying to do. Create the gap for Kiwior to get the header away. Create the space in that line. It's just the ball was too far out to cause any.
Donnarumma sends it long.
They have become famous for these.
Timber wins the header. Nice job. Ruiz is there for the second ball, but here's Odegaard. Finds Saka.
Saka starting to get into the game.
Almost gets past Ruiz. Nice job by Ruiz to defend him there. Throwing for Arsenal.
We got that press right. PSG thought better of it and went long, and they obviously got that height advantage at the back. There's no real striker of any height for PSG.
Here's Odegaard. Finds Rice. Back to Saliba. Finds Raya. Sends it long. It's a perfect ball, bro. Holy shit, but it's offside.
1-0 down, but it could have been worse. 25 minutes play. And they may just have cause to look back on those 25 minutes with some relief by the end of the tie. It's a long tie as well.
Mendes.
They will have moments in this tie He'd been on the ropes for 25 minutes. Given away by Nuno Mendes. Rice, Marino. Odegaard can't reach it. João Neves sees to that. Doué.
Nice ball by Doué to Hakimi. Beats Kiwior, nice job. Here's Hakimi, finds Neves. Kvaratskhelia goes outside, has it. Ooh, good block and saved by Raya. Holy shit. Here's Saka. Finds Rice.
His defenders to push up.
Fuck.
Donnarumma go long. He's got to hit as far as Scalia.
Here's Neves, finds Dembele, back to Hakimi. Here's Marquinhos, finds Thingy wide. Here's Vitinha, back to Hakimi, Marquinhos. Fabian Ruiz turns. Finds Vitinha. Here's Dembele, turns, tries and finds somebody, but it's not a good pass. Here's Raya. Saliba, he's under pressure again. Does well to play out of that. Here's Saka, finds Timber. Back to Saliba. Skelly, Rice. Saliba. Carrying the ball, finds Marino. Back to Raya. Here's Rice. Finds Saliba. Here's Timber. Skelly. Good play by Arsenal to get out the press. Kiwior just does whatever the fuck. I don't know. This guy's stuck though.
Trossard is at the top of the screen, swapped with Martinelli and managed to create that space for themselves to get out. Arsene Wenger was in charge of Arsenal, the first and only time this stadium staged a Champions League semi-final. I was here 16 years ago. It's heartbroken by 2 Manchester United goals in the opening minutes. The second,
Can we like? Okay.
outrageous free kick by Cristiano Ronaldo. Back in the days of Wenger versus Ferguson.
Here's Pancho.
It's taken Arsenal a long time to get back.
Finds Mendes.
Shoulder glory.
Doué. Now on the left side.
Achieved the one thing that Wenger couldn't. Crown Arsenal kings of Europe.
Here's Pancho. Marquinhos. Finds Pancho again. Mendes. Vitinha going wide to get it. Mendes sends it long. Goes out of bounds. PSG slowing down a little bit. Arsenal recognizing better.
Well, you've got to give him credit and Arsenal credit for sorting themselves out. Eventually they have managed to get that press right and they're trying to go long because basically they're just committing more bodies forward into the press. Putting pressure on PSG's backline, which they didn't do in the first 10-15 minutes.
Here's Donnarumma. Sends it long. Header won by Thingy. Here's Vitinha. Finds Kvaratskhelia. Vitinha. Sends it long to Dembele. He's through. Cuts inside. Doesn't know what to do. Here's Doué on the other side. Has it. Holy shit. Good save by Raya. Here's Ruiz. Oh, he hits the post. What the fuck? And Arsenal get it out. Offside call now, bro. What the fuck?
An offside flag is raised to spare Arsenal any more grief, but that was a really
Holy
bright
shit.
save by David Raya. Massive save.
What
In
the
context
fuck?
of the tie, I thought the chance had gone after Dembele hadn't taken it first time, but it's a really sharp shot. Strike and cut his
Dude,
legs
the
a
way
bit.
Due took that shit, bro.
To do that, Fabian Ruiz is
That was
offside
nice.
in the build-up. Just
He's so
watch his
slick,
feet,
bro.
watch his legs just cut away the wrong way. He's probably seen that quite late, hasn't he, Rob? It's so hard. Any further away from him, that was a goal.
Raya sends it long. Saka heads it. Mendes sends it long. Here's Saliba. Finds Timber. Goes back to Saliba. Bro. Okay, Arsenal ball.
On his line there and so quickly down to his right to make that save. See Dembele get through. Thought that chance when he did hesitate, like you say, just to chip it over him was the better opportunity then, but he do it. 15 yards out, PSG thinking goal.
Timber tries to find Trossard, but Vitinha's there first. Here's Kvaratskhelia. Back to Hakimi. Marquinhos finds Fabian Ruiz.
PSG set you the ultimate dilemma because of course you want to attack them, of course you want to get at them, particularly at home. But the more you attack them, the more
Here's Pancho Mendes. Dembele going very short for the ball. Mendes finds Dembele. Back to Mendes. Here's Pancho. Arsenal pressing pretty high. Pancho finds Marquinhos. Here's Hakimi. Gets past Rice. He's super quick. But he loses it. Oh my god, that's what I'm talking about. This guy's all... Okay, Ruiz wins it back. And he gets fouled.
his attempts to try to rectify his error. He conceded a free kick. It's a bit of a let-off for Fabian Ruiz and a let-off for Arsenal. Just watch his feet here. It's so sharp. He's managed to get his legs to go one way, and that gives him the speed to get down into the save. And then you're asking for the strength, and it is all of everything to put your strength into that save, because that ball is travelling. And how many times a week do you practice that kind of save? More than you care to think about. Throw yourself on the ground to get back up again. It's the life of a goalkeeper.
Here's Fabian Ruiz finds Vitinha. Back to Pancho. Here's Mendes. Here's Due. Finds Dembele. Fabian Ruiz. Oh my god. Chill. I gotta chill because I look like I'm favoriting PSG a lot here. I am actually. Here's Mendes. I want PSG to win. Here's Donnarumma. I like their style a lot. Here's Marquinhos. Odegaard takes a bad touch. Vitinha wins it. Here's Joao Neves. Finds Kvaratskhelia. Switches it to Due. Most dangerous man on the pitch, probably. Gets it to the box. He slips. Here's Saka. Finds Timber. Saka gets fouled by Ruiz. 10 minutes left. Here's Saliba. Back to Raya.
You can't show off at 19 years of age, when can you?
Here's Marino. Finds Rice.
Declan Rice.
Carries the ball. Saka. Switches it to Martinelli. Love Hakimi one-on-one here. Cuts inside. Trossard, I mean. That's not Martinelli. Here's Skelly. Wins a foul.
To give away PSG's point of view, the attack had run out of steam and is going nowhere.
Yeah, it's a bad foul, to be honest.
free kick before was a bit further out for Odegaard and didn't quite get it right, but we'll see this Arsenal. What, 5 or 6 players, 4 or 5 players. Why not beyond the far post again? Donnarumma had a difficult night here in October. He was possibly at fault for both of the Arsenal goals. Certainly came for a cross which Havertz beat him to, and then was defeated by a Saka free kick from wide out. Those 4 will shift in and look to block PSG players, in particular Ruiz and Marquinhos in the centre of that blue line. He has had a lot of better nights since then. Odegaard.
Odegaard sends the cross in. It's not good. Here's Saka. Back to Raya. Sends it long. Dude, every long ball he does is perfect. Holy shit, he's good. Oh my god, here's Skelly. Good block by a PSG player. Holy shit, that needed to be a save.
Says the referee. Marino was on the ball. Neves came in from an awkward angle. Referee again was beautifully positioned to make a call and felt that João Neves got enough of the ball. We shall see on the replay, and so, more importantly, with his VAR, Alain Borosak.
Nope, perfect tackle, bro. He gets the ball.
And it was. Stepped across just in the nick of time, recognising the danger, getting a foot on the ball, and Nico Marino knew he wasn't going to get it. He was onto his right foot. That contact there is enough to send him down, but winning the ball, it's a great tackle. He had to get that right, and he did. The replays of the incident that you just watched are not screened here in the stadium. So there's a little bit of discontent simmering inside the ground, but I think the evidence that we saw there was pretty conclusive. Go home after the game and see the highlights of this game. I think they'll be lucky. I think they'll be quite lucky. I don't think you watch highlights.
Here's Saliba, finds Rice. Kiwior finds thingy. What's his face? Here's Skelly. Rice.
Skelly's been so composed.
Wide to Saka.
Rice to Saka.
Cuts inside. Gets past Kvaratskhelia. Has it himself. Goes straight to Donnarumma, but it's a good chance by Saka. I think it's his first shot so far.
He's on the verge of signing a new contract with Arsenal, Bukayo Saka, and that is very, very good news for this club. It just wasn't the angle to cross for him, I think, and he felt was better off taking on the shot.
Donnarumma sends it long. Header won by Timber. Rice sends it long. Pancho will get to this first, but there's 2 players on his ass. Oh my god. Here's Saka. No pen. Here's Marino. Finds Trossard. Here's Saka. Back to Trossard. Nice by Hakimi to win it. Saka somehow gets past 2. Cross. Holy shit! Arsenal almost scored. What the fuck? Martinelli almost got on the end of it, but it was a bit too ahead of him. Alright, Arsenal playing a lot better the second part of this first half. He's offside anyways, but still.
Wouldn't have counted, but Donnarumma knew he had to go because he was no way he was going to get across the goal. Martinelli wouldn't have counted, but it's more hope for Arsenal. He's scored a couple of times in the last 3 games and has played as well in those games as he has at any other stage in the season. It was Martinelli who sprinted clear to slot the late winner in Madrid. Seal that wonderful quarter-final victory. 5 minutes to the first half remaining. Dembele's early goal is the difference.
5 minutes left. Raya will take it. We'll probably just send it long into the box. Raya sends into the box. Holy shit, Marino's there. Holy shit, Donnaruma's there. Okay, good.
Well, it was speculative, but Arsenal nearly made something of it.
Well, you just can't let the ball travel that far and let it bounce as a PSG line. Trossard proving a nuisance, but creating that much space, you better off.
Here's Pancho, sends it long.
Allowing that space, you're going to lose the header, make it a scrap.
Nice by Timber to win that ball. Here's nice, Kvaratskhelia wins it. Throwing for PSG. Oh, gives it to Arsenal for some reason. Timber finds Rice. Timber. Back to Saliba. Finds Raya. Back to Saliba. Raya. Sends it long. Dude, he's so good on those long balls, dude. Here's Mendes. Oh my god. Wow, that wasn't a foul. That was bullshit. Wow, that was a shit call, dude. Yeah, no, that was not a foul. Mendes was already trying to fall over before this shit even happened. That is a bad foul, bro. Yeah, no, that's bad, bro.
Well, it wasn't as big a call as the PSG penalty appeal at the other end early in the game.
Yeah, true.
It was as puzzling a
Here's
call.
Kiwior. Finds Skelly, but it's not a good ball, dude. He kind of killed him there. Here's Dembele. Marino gets in front of him. Well done.
Marino
Here's Saliba.
duty.
Plays it wide. Is Timber able to get to it? Good touch. Holy shit, that was good. But Kvaratskhelia wins it.
By Kvaratskhelia. Has a wiry strength.
Nice by Timber to win it back, though. It's good mentality by him and gets fouled by Hakimi. I don't even think it was a foul, but the ref feels like he has to give something to... How is that a yellow? But Timber is still... Okay, I don't know. I don't understand the sport anymore. How is Timber not on a yellow as well? That's what, Hakimi's second foul? Timber's on his fifth and he hasn't gotten booked yet. Like, what the fuck? And the thing is, it didn't even look like a foul. Cool.
I think he would argue that it's a tactical foul designed to break up a counter-attack. Timber was looking for it, very gratefully, but he's made a few calls in this half and one massive one for the penalty, which he didn't give. PSG took the lead against Manchester City.
Raya sends the ball long. Vitinha wins the header. Here's Doué. Tries to put it past Thingy, but it goes out for a throw-in. Skelly finds Rice. Back to Raya, who finds Rice again. Here's Trossard. Takes a bad touch. Is Dembele first to get to that? Here's Vitinha. Hey. Marquinhos pulls down Marino. They're asking for a yellow, but they're not going to give anything. Here's Timber. Wide to Saka. Back to Timber. Finds Saliba. Here's Raya. Skelly wide open in the center of the park. He gets it. Spins away from Hakimi. Well done. Here's Skelly. Finds Martinelli through. Holy shit, good save by Donnarumma. They need to get it out. And PSG get it out. Holy shit, 1 minute left. What the fuck? Good save by Donnarumma, bro. I shit on him a lot, but that was good by him. Needed to be made. Fuck, you know.
He knows where he's going to go. That touch inside of him rather than out, away from his feet, doesn't allow him to get the contact. See him try and reshape his body. And he's got a huge frame and a big frame and a strong frame. He needed it all. And what an intervention, what a pass by Miles Lewis-Skelly in the 24th senior match of his club and country career. He really has been on a fast track to this level. over the last few months.
Throwing for PSG. They'll take their time. They want this to head to halftime already.
19 till September. Arsenal left back.
Appreciation again for Italy's number one. Unbelievable from Lewis Skip. Seen so far in North London.
It's been really exciting.
All right, that's halftime.
Finally poised now.
1-0. Good goal by PSG. They played well, but Arsenal coming back.
And the goal on 4 minutes from Ousmane Dembele, beautifully constructed in typical fashion by Paris Saint-Germain is the difference. David Raya's save.
But maybe the penalty that PSG wanted. He certainly wasn't a PSG. Certainly wasn't a penalty on Marino. All in all, I don't think the referee's been that bad, and I certainly don't think there's enough to complain for either side. PSG are not showing any stick football. Goal! Oh my God! Opening up space. Kvaratskhelia on the left-hand side, up against Timber, cuts it back! Goal! Oh my God! Oh my God! What a start from PSG! That's absolutely brilliant. Again! They've silenced the Emirates for a moment. It's Dembele off the post. But the way they've broken away from back to front is absolutely stunning. Fantastic football. I said Arsenal were standing off them a little bit. I don't know whether that's a good idea. I think we'd say it's not a good idea. Arsenal giving up possession early on, and it's 1-0 PSG. I can't believe it. They just haven't started very confidently here. And they've paid the price. Lovely build-up play by PSG from back to front, like I say. The ball goes out to Kvaratskhelia. He cuts it back to Dembele. And on the first time hit into the bottom corner off the post. You don't save those. And Arsenal are 1-0 down. And I tell you what, with regards to this tie, it's probably the perfect thing. If you're a neutral, it's a great finish, says Mini Brew. Dembele's joined the party early. And Arsenal, Declan Rice says calm down. Well, you can calm down, but you're losing 1-0. And you better step it up. I expected a high tempo from Arsenal. This is at the Emirates. But it's PSG who've come with the tempo and the intensity away from home. And remember, they have warned people before. Liverpool were dominated in Paris, but came away with a 1-0 win. PSG then went to Anfield and went for them. So, we're in London, aren't we, says Pragi, but PSG are not showing any respect to that. They are vulnerable, PSG. You can get at them, but you've got to work to do that. You can't just expect to do it. And I think Arsenal, albeit we've only had 5 minutes, little bit lethargic here. And PSG, to their credit, have come out with the intensity. I'm reluctant to get a little bit over the top because it is so early, but I think PSG started the more confident team. Would you blame anybody in the build-up? I think it's a great goal. I think
1-0, what the fuck? Great finish by Dembele. I'm telling you, bro, this guy's different with PSG. He's just motivated in a different way that he's never been before. Good goal. To be dramatic, bro.
I think PSG have missed a lot of these chances against Man City and Liverpool and Villa, to be fair. The one thing I would say about PSG against Liverpool and Villa is that they actually could have scored more. But that was just a very, very good finish. Arteta, says Tab Dabdi. Oh, they'll be printing the T-shirts. They'll be printing the T-shirts. Look, PSG knocked out the champions of England. Arguably, you could say they're favourites. Are they favourites? Probably now. Arsenal need to settle here. And they need to settle fast. GM32846 says, well done Arsenal on winning the quarter-final cup on TikTok. Thanks for all the follow. The conversation should be 100 men versus 1 elephant. That's a fairer fight. It's a shotgun justice. Chances for Man United Tottenham Europa League final. Well, surely Spurs are going to beat Bodo Glimt. I hope not, but surely they will. Surely they will. So therefore it comes down to whether United can beat Athletic Club, which is going to be difficult, but we need it. 64% of you voted for Dembele over Saka. Lebo says it was a penalty by Timber. Seen him given, mate. I have seen him given. I'm just looking at the Martinelli chance. Gets it stuck under his feet. How many times do we see Martinelli do that as well? What do you think about Martinelli? I mean, every time I say he ain't good enough, he'll score a goal. But I don't think he's good enough. I don't actually think he's good enough. Haven't seen Sinners yet, no, Lumen. I tell you what, I'm absolutely loving Mobland. I look forward to that every week. One player from each team for United. Mendes and Saka for me, says Senor Debut. What do Man United need more than anything? Strikers, midfielders, number 10s, goalkeeper. I would say from Arsenal, Saliba, Rice or Saka, and from PSG Dembele, Neves, or Donnarumma. Mendes would be what Alan would want, no doubt. What do you think they're gonna? What do you think the reaction to Arteta will be if they go out? Arsenal have got a really weird vocal minority who just will never, ever, 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 ever accept Arteta.
Yeah.
But the reality is, they're just wasting their time, because if Arsenal lose this, they basically come second in the league and semi-finalists in the Champions League. And as a Man United fan, I bloody love it. I really, really, really would. But he ain't getting sacked. And this summer, he's probably going to get a striker, Zubimendi, and a winger. And I think next season, Arsenal have got to win something. I think they're going to win the Premier League. But I think they'll win the league. I do. So I don't really know what people are moaning about, but they'll still moan. Start, bench, loan, sell. That's 4. Saka, Dembele, Mbappe, and Lamel. Okay, I'm starting. That's 4's messing with my head here, Eureki. Start, bench, loan, sell. Saka, Dembele, Mbappe, Yamal. I will start. Controversially, I will start Saka.
What the fuck?
I will bench
Oh my god.
Yamal. I will loan Dembele. And I will sell Mbappe.
Holy
Good
shit.
question, though.
What the
can you shout
fuck?
out Kieran Fenton?
Niggas don't rate
Love
Mbappe
the content.
anymore. Holy
Thanks, Prince
shit.
and Kieran. Cheers, pal. Thank you very much for your super chat. Hope you're doing well. Somebody smashes that smelly person too, says Jody. 100 men versus gorilla in jungle would be like Rambo, says NAU. Mabine says, I'm scared of dogs and have nightmares about them. I've had a few nightmares about dogs in my time as well. But that's what drink does to you. One player from each team have done that. These hypotheticals will go down as some of the best content you create in your career. Polar bear versus a shark, says Corey Lineker. Depends whether it's on. If it's in water, I think a shark against a polar bear would be a bloodbath, where a shark would win. But if it's on land, a polar bear would take it.
Why the fuck is Troops? Troops is with the PSG Ultras in London, bro. This guy's a fucking troll. Troops, I mean expressions. Holy shit, that was racist as hell. Yeah, my fault. Anyways, but yeah, he's funny as hell. This guy is just a generational hater. He does not give a fuck. Like, what the hell?
I can't deal with this. The match is about to start. I don't think...
Hey. Turn that back off. Hello, hello. Yeah, Bilbao versus United on Thursday as well. Good week of football. That would be fun.
Our hearts beat for football.
Word. Damn, what a terrible song.
But if one heart stops beating, are you prepared to save a life? Get trained, save lives on gettrained.com.
Alright, I'm guessing about a minute or two until second half starts. Alright, there we go. Graphics back up.
to you by
Ah.
Crypto.com and MasterCard, UEFA Champions League official
Crypto.com.
sponsors.
Word. Bro, them guys are everywhere, bro. Alright. Yep. Both teams are out. Second half's about to start. Alright, bro. This is... Arsenal needs to do something here because I don't believe they have what it takes to do it in Paris. So...
Looks like they're about to kick off there. We'll get you back for the second half with Gary and Rob.
they'll hope to
Thanks very much, Owen.
win,
Your team's back out, and it
obviously.
looks like
Wow, that was stupid
things
as
as
fuck.
they were at the end of the first half. What did Arteta say?
My mind is just fogged today, bro. I don't know.
I genuinely felt
Things aren't coming out the way it should.
a bit uglier, and it suited them. Difficult for PSG.
Alright, second half's about to start, bro. Marino's about to kick it off.
Situations. It'll be fascinating to see what Arteta said to his team in terms of getting a good second half performance in a way that PSG was so dominant that first half at Anfield and Villa Park, but both home teams wrestled that back to make it difficult. Can Arsenal do that in this second half?
Well, they've never lost to Paris Saint-Germain, and it's a modest sample size of 5 games, including that October meeting. 2 draws, Champions League group stage 8 years ago, and a European semi-final, Cup Winners' Cup, 93-94. Kevin Campbell.
There we go.
Impressive.
Second half's off.
Arsenal went on to reach the final. Right now,
Raya sends it long.
Saint-Germain's night.
Header won by Vitinha. Marino goes down and he calls the foul. You can't even see from his angle if that's a foul or not.
Marino's down with a
But he
heavy
just
injury,
calls it.
blows
That's
the
so
whistle.
bullshit.
Brilliant header. Against Marino. There's no foul there at all.
That's the thing, bro. So often you just see the referees call things because they think they should. They don't see an actual foul, but they just call it just because they think they should. It's not fair how it works.
Told he's actually been shown a yellow card.
Hello, hello. I mean, if Arsenal score off that, that's a robbery.
So Declan Rice over this now. Martin Odegaard could swing these in.
Over to the sideline. Obviously got the instructions from the coaching bench to change it. I'm surprised he hasn't been on it from the beginning.
Rice sends the cross in. Fucking hell, goal.
Accurate, and it's easy.
Alright, cool.
Moreno holds his
1-1.
arms
That's actually just a robbery. There was no foul right there. Complete bullshit. PSG just got fucked over, bro. That's bullshit, bro. I don't have a favorite in this, but that is bullshit. That was a robbery. There was no foul in that foul. Marino dives. The referee just believes he should call it because he's fucking a bitch like the rest of the referees in this sport. No fucking character at all. No balls to change the standard. And yeah, he's probably offside as well, but I don't care. That's a bullshit goal, bro. Just not fair at all.
Well, I can tell you they are checking for a potential offside leading to the goal here.
My initial reaction there is, well, if not Marino that's in the offside position, it's another Arsenal shirt. I couldn't quite see who it was in terms of trying to get back. We said about PSG are quite brave in terms of holding that relatively high line.
The check is ongoing here. We'll see if Mikel Moreno has another big goal for Arsenal after that sweetest of strikes against Real Madrid. But all the pre-match talk about set pieces, surprisingly, coming to fruition in the game itself. Semi-automated offsides as well in the Champions League, let's not forget. Has been the case for a little while now. It's the shoulder of Moreno beyond any last remaining.
I think he is offside, bro.
Scalia perhaps playing him on.
Martinelli certainly is the one who looks like he's in the offside position. The question will be whether or not Marino gets back on side.
This Moreno guy looks sped as fuck.
Into the Rice's man.
Genuinely looks like he's mentally ill, bro. I'm not even trolling. What the fuck?
A long wait.
Oh my god, how are you still checking this, man?
Will they get to enjoy
What are the point for the cameras? How does this take so fucking long, man?
Biting moments.
They should be checking the foul over, bro, because there was no foul.
This must be
Fucking
exceptionally
crazy.
tight. And this one
Offside, thank you. Holy shit, that's justice. That's justice in the sport.
offside is the decision.
There was no foul originally, bro. PSG would have been fucked right there. That was fucked up.
And
Good
it
shit.
remains
1-0, PSG still.
Paris Saint-Germain won. Confirmation from the video assistant. This was offside.
How'd that take so long? I don't understand. Like, what
It's
the
that
fuck?
much. You're surprised it took so long.
Why does it take that long? We're led to believe that semi-automated will make that decision relatively quickly.
Well, those scenarios like that from Moreno are going to be a compelling watch now.
Pancho wins the header.
This game. They're going to keep holding that line.
Mendez wins the header. Here's Dembele on it. Flicks it.
For them there.
Saliba just hits it up to nowhere. Odegaard brings it down nicely. Holy shit, that was good by Odegaard. Marino tries to find Saka. Mendes goes back to Donnarumma. What the fuck? Donnarumma sends it long. Timber wins the header. Here's Marino. Brings it down well, but he loses it. It's not a good ball. But he's there to clean it up anyways. He goes down. Another bullshit foul called.
13 games since he was pushed into that centre-forward position. 6 goals, 4 assists. That felt a massive moment for Arsenal. Playing that deeper midfield goal, but it still gives you that real presence, that real threat when he is in the box or balls into the box like that.
Oh my god, long ball again by Arsenal, bro. These guys fucking piss me off with their bullshit.
Just knocking balls into the box.
It's their only offensive danger, bro. It's just set pieces. Raya just sends it long into the box again. Perfect ball, to be honest. Here's Marino. Trossard has it. It's blocked. Kiwior has it. It's blocked. Here's Marquinhos. Sends it long. Saliba hits it over as well. Here's Saka. He's not quite able to keep it in. Thrown for PSG.
Bottom line is PSG don't look comfortable from them anyway.
No, they absolutely don't. They look comfortable at the start of this second half. We've seen no periods where the likes of Jan Neves, Coutinho get on the ball and dictate play. They haven't settled into this second half at all. To Arsenal for that, we said about making it that type of game.
Mendes throws it in. Headed out by Saliba.
PSG making yards at least into the Arsenal half. Said the mood amongst his group of players is exceptional. He's a very upbeat man, so the joke was understood. He said, I'm the saddest of the group. So you can imagine how happy they all are right now, despite the fact the invincible season's gone domestically.
Here's Mendes.
Proper straight talker, isn't he, as manager?
Finds the thingy.
Players know exactly where the line is. They don't cross it.
Kiwior sends it long. Here's Trossard. Nice job.
Far more now than it ever
Arsenal.
was.
Nope. PSG ball. Thank you.
Superstar individuals.
In terms of the respective benches tonight as well, I think there's a very good case to be made that PSG's
Here's Fabian Ruiz. Finds Marquinhos. Wide to Doué. He has a lot of space to run into. Finds Ruiz. Here's Hakimi. Back to Doué. Cuts inside. Holy shit. Runs out of space. Odegaard loses it. Here's Ruiz. Or fucking Neves. But Arsenal win it back. Here's Rice. Plays Trossard, but it's behind him, bro. It's not easy for him to run onto. Nice. Plays it straight to Pancho, who goes back to Donnarumma. There's Marquinhos. Vitinha. Pancho. Vitinha. Marquinhos. Hakimi. Nice. Finds Ruiz behind the press. And Ruiz is able to switch it. Nice job. Here's Mendes.
Nuno Mendes forward from left back.
First time we've seen that from Paris in terms
Here's
of getting that
Kvaratskhelia.
press.
Vitinha.
First half, Arsenal
Back to
aggressive
Mendes. Vitinha. Ruiz. Back to Ruiz. Neves back to Ruiz. Here's Neves. Turns. Nope. Gives it back to Ruiz. Back to Neves, who turns.
Joao Neves.
Switches it to Hakimi.
Enrique likes it. Hakimi.
Here's Dembele. Back to Kvaratskhelia, who leaves it off to Neves. Here's Fabian Ruiz. Marquinhos. Wide to Hakimi. Dembele.
feel confident about themselves and the surroundings.
Fabian Ruiz. Here's Doué.
Doué.
And Raya's there to get it.
Blocks off Hakimi.
Raya finds Saliba. Wide to Timber.
A bit of scoring early in England. 11 minutes at
Here's Rice.
Villa, 12 minutes at Liverpool, 4 minutes at
Rice
Arsenal.
carrying it.
Dembele off he goes.
Holy shit. Good shit by Rice. Here's Trossard. He's through. Fuck.
Leandro Trossard's in.
Oh my god, what a save by Donnarumma. Holy shit, that just saved PSG.
Trossard can't believe it.
What the fuck? What a save by Donnarumma.
Wow. Wow from Declan Rice in terms of that power driving.
Good shit by Rice to carry the ball like that. It's too easy though.
And the touch, the last touch takes him into a brilliant position. You're thinking,
What a fucking save, bro.
somehow Donnarumma gets down to his left low.
Holy shit, what a save.
He can't make those low saves. Well, he certainly did there.
He must have thought that was 1-1. But Donnarumma had other ideas again.
As convincing in these situations.
It's only Arsenal's second corner.
Saka sends the cross in. It's across everybody. Trossard heads it.
Back across.
Alright, here's Doué. Bro, he needs to get it out quick. What the fuck? Vitinha sends it long.
Fouled. Vitinha's popped it long and it will go back.
And they'll go back. Foul for PSG.
Whether or not that ball could release Paris up the pitch, there wasn't. Blew for the whistle for the foul.
Keep you arguing that
Got the ball, they will have a good case there.
Shea Given was talking about whether there might be a plan to replace him. There was talk that he might even be losing his position to Matvei Sufanov, who they signed in the summer, but he's kept the role,
Saliba
but
sends it long.
he's proved his Champions League quality.
Header one.
Brilliant save. Every inch of his frame there, didn't he, to make the save.
Here's Saliba.
Offside must have fallen.
Doesn't know where to go. He's under pressure here. Wow, he handled that very well. Here's Timber.
Timber.
Carrying the ball.
Saka up with him.
Finds Saka, perfect ball. Nice tackle by Neves. And then Doué loses it, bro. This guy Doué needs to fucking wake up. Odegaard tries to play it through. Goes all the way straight to Donnarumma.
Touch tonight.
That by Joao Neves again, coming from behind.
No foul.
Pockets it, doesn't he? You look like you're about to make a strike or decisive pass and just manages to get back and tow it away.
Hakimi heads it to Doué. Here's Kiwior. Sends it long. Martinelli could get on the end of this, but Marquinhos is there. Plays it back to Donnarumma. Holy shit. Finds... Who is this? Joao Neves. Almost falls over himself. Sends it long. Doué, nice touch.
Doué keeps giving the ball away.
And fouls Skelly.
It's a free kick.
Brilliant bit of skill to kill the ball under his studs and then a little flick around, but Lewis Skelly just said, alright, do all your tricks, I'll just get goal side.
He's been speaking about how his idol is Neymar. He's tried one too many of those this evening, Desiree Doué. Fourth official, by the way, and Market Teta.
Careful, giving away cheap frees, Paris, even from this distance.
Rice switches the ball perfectly. Holy shit, that was a good ball. Saka brings it down.
Saka from Rice.
Finds Timber.
Timber.
Sends the cross in. Alright, here's Hakimi. He can carry it. Tries to find Doué through, but Timber's there. Nice. Doué wins it back. Here's Hakimi. Nice job. Nice job by Doué there, bro. Here's Marquinhos. Goes back to Donnarumma. Here's Pancho. Mendes. Nice ball to Dembele. Here's Joao Neves. Nice job by PSG to play out there, bro. Here's Hakimi carrying the ball. Plays it central to Dembele. Here's Vitinha. Back to Dembele. Plays it through! Holy shit, good tackle by Saliba. What the fuck was that by Dembele, bro? That was a good ball. Here's Rice carrying it. Odegaard goes back. Holy shit. Marino, I don't know what the fuck he was trying to do. He's trying to find Trossard. Here he is. Don't foul him. Nice by Doué. Throwing for Arsenal.
Crucial.
Such a lovely little ball in behind Kivior. Much space to make it. The way to pass was brilliant. Hakimi's just about to pull the trigger. Saliba makes a brilliant save. Saving challenge.
Some of the absent group up there, Thomas Partey, Kai Havertz. Partey, of course, will be back available next week for the second leg in the French capital. Many expect Kai Havertz season to be over, although we understand he had been making good progress from his hamstring injury.
Skelly throws it in, back to Kiwior. Here's Raya. Dembele's putting pressure.
Terrible pitch side, in fact, for the
Raya sends it long. Nice header by Mendes, bro. Holy shit, he cushioned that well. Here's Pancho. Marquinhos, bro. Pancho scares me, bro. This guy's not good on the ball, but, you know, he's doing what he has to do. He hasn't fucked up yet. Here's Vitinha. Finds Doué. Back to Hakimi. Here's Ruiz, Doué.
Can he keep it?
Holy shit, how'd he do that? And he wins a foul. Holy shit, he's so good.
But, it's won the free kick. Took a dead leg for it.
Dude, he is so good, man. So tricky. Queen.
Down by Moreno. What have you made of his performance, Gary? Seems to be increasingly vindicated.
Mendes sends it long.
Signed him last summer.
I don't think any stage they envision him.
Holy shit, Timber mistimes it. Here's Kvaratskhelia. Saliba has to recover. Kvaratskhelia slips.
Hands on Kvaratskhelia, but
Here's Rice.
okay in the eyes of the referee. Rice moves it on.
Finds Martinelli. Trossard.
Another example of Paris almost
Back to Skelly. Here's Kiwior. Carries the ball. Oh my god, he gives it away. Holy shit. Oh, Dembele almost gets on the end of it. What the fuck? Kiwior again, bro. This guy is scary as hell. Here's Rice. Through ball to Timber. Here's Timber. Back to Thingy. Ball sent long. Here's Odegaard. Nice by Trossard, I mean, not Odegaard. Here's Marino. Back to Trossard, nice little ball. Gets past Marquinhos. He doesn't know where to go now, bro. Here's Marino. Finds Rice, he can carry it. Been very good today, Rice, to be honest. Here's Skelly. No, I mean Timber. Here's Odegaard. Timber. Wide to Saka. Cuts inside. Finds Odegaard. Here's Trossard. Loses it. Marino. Tries to play a through ball to Martinelli. Hakimi finds Neves. Ruiz. Holy shit, the ball just ends up at Vitinha.
Off goes Vitinha.
Holy shit, Doué gets taken out off the ball. I mean, he was getting grabbed and shit.
Taken out
Here's
off the
Dembele.
ball by an Arsenal player.
Dembele carrying the ball. Dembele's a lot smarter now, bro. Here's Doué, finds Hakimi. Here's Neves, finds Vitinha. Ruiz. Back to Vitinha, Neves. Pancho. No, this is Pancho. Here's Marquinhos. Doué finds Ruiz. No, it's Hakimi. Neves, Marquinhos, Pancho, Mendes. Finds Kvaratskhelia, tries to put it past Timber. He might be able to get to it. Timber's very quick though. Gets to it to Raya, who just sends it long straight to Donnarumma.
How long it will be before Luis Enrique makes a change in terms of keep those
Here's
empty
Pancho.
positions. He does those options on the bench.
Finds Vitinha behind the press. Turns, doesn't know where to go. Back to Pancho. Marquinhos. Hakimi. Marquinhos. Pancho. Mendes. Good ball to Neves. And then he just fucking hits it to nowhere, bro. What the fuck?
It's been a bit of to and fro between the two clubs as well about ticket allocation. Both groups feeling they haven't been given enough. Their respective away ends over the two games. Villa and Liverpool actually had similar issues with Paris Saint-Germain.
Here's Raya. Sends it long.
Raya hangs it.
Saka.
Onto the left boot of Bukayo Saka.
Cuts inside. Finds Odegaard. Cuts inside again. Finds Marino.
Marino arriving on the scene.
Cross sent in. Headed by PSG player. Here's Kvaratskhelia on the other side. He'll try and win a foul off of Timber.
Reigniting his battle with Timber.
He just hits it out for a throw. Cool. Alright. Here's Rice carrying the ball. Finds Marino, who lets it run to nobody. Trossard's able to get to it. Here's Kirior, Skelly. Back to Raya, who finds Saliba. Odegaard, Donnarumma, or Raya. Skelly carrying the ball. Finds Saka. Doesn't play a good ball. Here's Kvaratskhelia. Cuts inside. Finds Neves. Just lays it off to Vitinha. They're trying to just chill on the ball here, bro. I mean, ball's in their court, right? In their half, I guess. Here's Hakimi. Finds Dembele. Cuts inside. Carrying the ball. Nice job. Finds Hakimi. Here's Marquinhos, Vitinha. Mendes. Pancho. Here's Marquinhos. Hakimi. Bro, Arteta's damn near on the field, bro. What the fuck? Here's Donnarumma. Sends it long. Goes over the Arsenal player, throwing for Arsenal. Oh my gosh, Dembele seems a little hurt.
What he's looking at his bench, what his options are. We're looking, there don't seem to be very many there. One area, of course, gives you that quality, but
One here.
Yeah, other than that, it's
Rice doesn't know where to go.
White, Tierney, they've been kind of the players.
Finds Thingy.
Off the bench for Arsenal.
Here's Skelly.
When Arteta's rotated in
Back to Martinelli. Back to Skelly. Not much chances made, bro. It's a very tight game right now. Scally, Dembele goes down because he's hurt.
Arteta has just gone absolutely wild on the touchline.
Barcola
PSG look to make a
gonna
change.
get on
Bradley Barcola's coming on.
for Dembele, who seems a little hurt.
It's for Dembele, the fact that he went down, he pulled his socks down as if to say he's taking the pads off.
Well, let's see what Luis Enrique's got up his sleeve here.
Reluctant to lose him though. I think there's be likely to be one of those two wide players who come off Barker.
Well, at the moment, it is Ousmane Dembele's goal that is the difference between the two sides. A well-worked 1-2, an elaborate one as well with Kvaratskhelia before scoring his 8th Champions League goal of the campaign. So Dembele coming off, and Bradley Barcola, the 22-year-old French international winger, in his second season since a €45 million move from Lyon. And he started against Aston Villa at Villa Park in that second leg. That's PSG's first change of the day.
I think getting a nod against Villa was a suggestion that they would be defending from deep, that he has that ability on the counter-attack to expose the space, and I think that would be the thinking again as Arsenal try and push men forward to try and get themselves back on level terms. Spaces on the counter-attack will open up.
Well, Ben White was ready to come on and then has popped his bib back on. Maybe an issue with Timber. He's been so good recently, hasn't he, Timber? It'd be a huge loss if there was
Here's
a
Raya.
Brilliant signing.
Finds Saliba.
Ben White had that right back position nailed down, but he's been brilliant in terms of
Gives it to Timber. Hits off of a PSG player. Doué's too slow to react to it, bro. He's too relaxed right now. Here's Saliba.
Saliba, by the looks of it.
Moves it on to Luis Skelly. Doué, known for his versatility, has played number 9 before, is through the middle now for PSG. Odegaard.
Here's Trossard. Finds Martinelli wide.
Martinelli.
Cross. Headed out.
Senior heads it clear.
Rice finds Kiwiart. Skelly, Rice.
No situation. Getting wide position. Declan Rice is playing deep midfield. He wouldn't be charging into the box.
Saliba finds Odegaard.
I've seen him in recent weeks. Marino's deeper as well. And on that occasion he was a right wing, but he come on challenging for that cross, which was a decent one to the near post area.
Saliba sends it long into Timber. Here's Marino. Odegaard. Marino. Rice.
Rice. Back out to Martinelli.
Here's Martinelli.
That brilliant chance at the end of the first half, Gabriel Martinelli. And Arsenal have had their chances tonight.
Odegaard wide to Timber. That's a good ball.
Patient play.
Back to Odegaard.
Odegaard.
Cross.
And
Nice. Straight to Donnarumma.
Gets
that ball inside right position and waits a second or two until Marino makes that run into the box, then floats it in. But in that time frame, just allow
Here's
him
Pancho.
to assess what's happening around him.
Plays it long.
Kiwior. Touch careless in their last game because they didn't play at the weekend, Arsenal. The last game coming 6 days ago.
Kvaratskhelia turns.
But an
Has it from way out. It's fucking wide, bro. It's a waste of a possession, bro.
panicking from Kvaratskhelia.
Fuck is that shit, dude?
Well, Jean-Philippe Mateta caught him from range, but not quite that far out.
Waste, to be honest. Barker's made a lovely little run inside. He was on for the pass.
Trossard loses the ball almost. Don't fucking foul right there.
Offside there.
Fuck.
Under pressure from João Neves, who that time wasn't as clean with his challenge.
Kiwior sends it long.
Kiwior swept out to Timber.
Here's
again.
Timber. Finds Saka. Timber.
Timber just let the
Takes a
ball
bad
escape.
touch, but he goes to Saka anyways, bro. What the fuck? There's Odegaard. Timber. Nope. Skelly. Rice finds Saka in the pocket.
Saka took it on the half turn.
PSG playing very defensive here, just trying to hold on. You can tell.
Bukayo
Saka again. Nice tackle by Mendes. No foul there. Switches the ball to Hakimi. Bro, they can couch him on the counter, bro.
Bukayo Saka. Like his legs run out.
Here's Joao Neves. Finds Fabian Ruiz. Back to Neves. Pancho. Marquinhos. Hakimi. Oh my god. Throwing for PSG.
Seeing Mikel Arteta in the foreground, urging more from everybody inside this stadium with Arsenal's interests at heart.
Alright, what's the sub?
More conventional central striker now because Desiree Doué will give way to Gonzalo Ramos.
Doué coming off for Gonzalo Ramos, bro. Dude, I just like watching Doué play, bro. I don't like to see him come out since he's so fun to watch.
International forward, but he's more at home in that central position. It's interesting, wasn't it? He said they didn't seem the threat of a centre forward, and when as soon as Doué moved there, and he certainly is that, as you say, Clive, and out number 9. Probably doesn't fit the Luis Enrique PSG system as well. Well, he lost his place through injuries, missed 3 months of the season with an ankle problem. But it's a difficult attack to get back into once you do lose your place.
Here's Saka.
Saka.
Finds Odegaard. Finds Trossard. Goes back to Saka. Send the cross in. Maybe. He does. Holy shit, he has. It's a good save by Donnarumma. But there was an offside anyways. Donnarumma's played very well, bro. You know I don't fucking rate this guy, but he's played very well today.
Shot again for Donnarumma. Just watching. Trossard drifting off to the side, but this is where Arsenal have come unstuck in recent weeks, and this season they've drawn a lot of games in tight games where they struggle to find a magic moment within a game to win a goal, to nick a goal, to win a game, and it's just these sorts of moments where it goes flat at the Emirates. They need to find something. They certainly do now.
Ramos wins the header. Holy shit, Kiwior hits it off his own guy. They're through again. Here's Gonzalo Ramos. Finds Barcola. Oh my god. Bro, what the fuck is that shit, bro? Ramos is through and this guy just passes it wide to Barcola, bro. Like, bro, take it through, my niggas. Shoot that shit. Bro. And how does Neves hit that bad, bro? Like, you were a professional player, bro. What the fuck? Trossard wins that ball. Finds Marino. Finds Timber. Wide to Saka. Cuts inside. Here's Odegaard. Wide to Martinelli. Cuts inside. Cross. Saka's on the other side. Mendes falls over, but they'll play on since PSG still have the ball. Here's Fabian Ruiz. Wide to Kvaratskhelia.
PSG for once a little more circumspect. Yeah, conservative option, wasn't it? Ruiz, maybe there's been instruction on from the touchline to say just take the sting out of it. See it through.
Here's Pancho. Finds Marquinhos. Sends it forward to Hakimi. Great ball. Finds Vitinha. Here's Fabian Ruiz. Wide to Kvaratskhelia. He'll go at his defender. He's in the box. Cuts inside. Has its way over, bro. Holy shit. Lack of quality in the second half, dude. This has been sad.
Probably expected wins up to a point. Even the league phase win over PSG back in October was nothing like the statement win over the reigning champions in the last round. And it's a question of whether they could take
Trossard back to Raya.
against a team as good as PSG.
Sends it long. Straight to Mendes. I mean, PSG are doing perfect here, bro. They just want to slow the game down, hold it up, hold it until the second leg, bro, and they're doing perfectly fine. 10 minutes left. Oh my God, Donnarumma sends it long. Straight out for an Arsenal throw-in. Ben White's going to come on.
Ben White is going to come on, having missed the weekend's, or last Wednesday's game.
Here's Rice.
Nursing a knee problem for much of the season.
Finds Odegaard in between the lines. Rice. Odegaard. Kiriort. Martinelli. Back to Odegaard. Here's Saliba. Rice. Back to Saliba. Kiriort. Sends it long. Kiriort is a fucking liability. Holy shit, this guy sucks. He's not good on the ball. Defensively, he's a bit shaky. He is clearly the weakest part of this Arsenal team, bro. Here's Vitinha. Finds Kvaratskhelia. Vitinha. Neves. Fabian Ruiz. Here's Marquinhos. Barcola. Bro, Arteta is damn near on the field, bro. Someone tell this nigga to stop doing that shit. Here's Pancho. Marquinhos. Finds Hakimi. Look, Arteta's on the field, bro. Here's Vitinha. Nice job. Barcola. Here's Hakimi. Play that ball, bro. Hakimi is so shit. Oh my God, and Vitinha loses the handball. Fuck, man. Timber's coming on.
Understanding with Bukayo Saka, another player, along with Odegaard, who have that understanding. But as you said, it's the first sub Arsenal have made, and it's a defensive one. There is Ben White, Gonzalo Ramos. Both teams have domestic league games on Saturday ahead of the return leg in Paris next Wednesday. Neither really needs league points, but their opponents of the weekend do. Arsenal take on Bournemouth here. PSG visit Strasbourg, and both.
Here's Marquinhos. Hi, what's good, Adam? Why the fuck do you have a PSG badge on your shit, bro? Like, what's good, bro? Barcola finds Ramos. Back to Barcola. He's through. Oh my fucking God! How do you miss that shit? Bro. Oh my goodness, professional player, man. That's the highest level of the sport, and this guy misses wide open. Holy shit, no pressure at all. Wow, you dedicate your whole life to being good at one thing, and you can't even strike that ball well. Like, what the fuck are you doing? No pressure, nobody's touching him, nothing, bro. Wow, that's bullshit. This guy stinks. I mean, the second half's been dead anyways, bro. PSG have just been successfully boring the fuck out of the game. So, about 6 minutes left. I woke up at 4:53 a.m. doing workouts at 7:30, getting ready for school, and 2:30 p.m. getting ready for my swimming lesson. Hey, respect, bro. That's hard work right there, nigga. I could never, bro. I could not wake up at 4:53 unless it was by accident. But hey, respect. Here's Marquinhos. Sends it long. It's a good ball. This is Ramos. Good touch. Have it. What the fuck is that shit, bro? Bro, what the fuck is going on? Are these guys okay? Barcola has no pressure and he puts it wide. And this nigga Ramos, instead of maybe putting it to a fucking corner, just toe pokes it, bro. Straight at Raya and it goes over him. Are these guys like okay in the head? Like there needs to be some type of intervention, bro. What the fuck was that? Offside anyways, but damn, bro. What the fuck was that shit? Yeah, bro, that was some bullshit. Five minutes left. Here's Saka. Finds Odegaard. Back to Saka. Nope, here's Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia switches it to Hakimi. Holy shit, that's a perfect ball. But no, it's not actually. Skelly gets in front of it and gets fucking shoved. Marino falls over. Arsenal continue to play. Rice sends it long to Saka. What the fuck? Foul for Arsenal in a dangerous position, bro.
The majority of the fans in here because they know what Arsenal can do from these situations. The numbers have just dropped off a little of late.
Crypto.com.
It's been a flat second half, hasn't it? For Arsenal, one or two opportunities in there. This would be a real bonus to go back to Paris with parity. Rice's delivery has generally been excellent this season.
Bro, Neves and Vertinha are small as fuck. Why are they in the wall? They're not blocking shit. Fuck, this is dangerous. Rice will probably have this, you know.
Huge moment in the tie.
He does. Kvaratskhelia sends it long. Throwing for Arsenal.
The wonder goals he scored against Real Madrid here, he was entitled to thump one in there, but they are the only two free kicks of his entire career.
Here's Trossard.
12 minutes apart. Past Thibaut Courtois.
Saliba finds Rice.
Here's Rice in more familiar territory. White trying to get forward.
Mendes heads it. Kvaratskhelia first to it. Throwing for PSG. They'll be happy to just waste the clock here, bro. They don't give a fuck.
Paris Saint-Germain will bring on the industrious Warren Zaire-Emery in midfield for the closing moments. Neves will make way. But Arsenal at the moment, whether it's the absence of Havertz and one or two other players who might have figured tonight, just lack an X factor in attack, don't they?
Yep, you've seen it, really. You've seen where they've fallen short this season in the Premier League.
Zaire Emery comes on. I don't know for who. I didn't even check.
Stage and over 2 legs, but this has been their downfall.
Zaire Emery.
PSG have scored 29 goals
Here's
more than Arsenal this season. One more tonight.
Timber finds thingy. Here's Saliba.
Expecting 5 added minutes.
5 minutes?
And one area is going to come on for those minutes.
Here's Raya. Sends it long.
Raya going
Perfect
long
ball.
again,
Holy
trying to
shit.
pick out Saka.
Mendes sends it long. Throwing for Arsenal.
Arsenal haven't lost
Nwaneri coming on for Odegaard.
competition since March of 2021. It's a 17-game.
Deserve, bro. This guy Odegaard is supposed to be like a creator, but he creates fuck all, bro. No good chances by him today. At all.
Set to claim the scalp. But it's not decisive, not with just a 1-goal lead. No, I think you better off the tie, and certainly after that scare of the disallowed goal.
Dude, look at the Arsenal fans leaving early, bro.
Arsenal come
It's a fucking semi-final, bro. You don't know if you'll ever be here again in your lifetime, dude. 5 minutes left and these guys are leaving. What the fuck? I've never seen some shit like this. They're down 1-0. They're in the game. Oh my goodness. Like, what is so important that you dedicated your time to go to an Arsenal game, their 3rd semifinal in history, and like, what is so important that you have to get home before everybody else, bro? Like, what the fuck are you going there for, bro? Leave that shit for people who actually care, dude. Look, the stadium's fucking half empty. There's 4 minutes left. Their team can still find a goal to tie it up. Fucking hell, man. I don't understand these football fans that go to watch this shit and then leave early, bro. 1-0 down. Semi-final. They're 3rd in club history. Wow.
all the time in the backs of Arsenal minds that thought, and it's not a surrender, that 0-1 is not the end of the world.
Look, everybody's walking out.
Couldn't afford
I understand.
to walk into a trap here in the closing moments and concede another. We've seen Gonzalo Ramos rattle their crossbar just minutes ago.
Donnarumma sends it long. Out for another Arsenal throw-in. Why are you guys cheering now, bro? The stadium's half empty. Doesn't even fucking matter, bro.
Mendes across.
Vitinha takes a bad touch. Here's Odegaard and Nwaneri. Martinelli has it way over.
It was Declan Rice who forced himself forward, physically made a challenge, won the ball, and almost created a goal there.
You know, something on the error. Past that, Martinelli, it's the wrong choice to take on the shot, but
2.5 minutes left.
that's lies in, therein lies the problem for Arsenal. It's just not having that quality moment at the key time.
Some of the absent players wait anxiously on the touchline. Calafiori's not a long way away from a return, but next week might be too soon for him. The Italian defender is not.
Stadium's half empty. Holy shit, 1-0. Here's Saka. Trossard. Rice. Here's Ben White. Dude, the stadium's fucking empty. Holy shit, this is funny as fuck. Here's Ben White. Finds Marino. Nwaneri loses it. Here's Kvaratskhelia. Not able to get away from thingy. Here's Rice. Rice has played well. What's the woman version of El Clasico? I don't know. The same shit. Barcelona versus Madrid. I would guess. Arsenal wins a corner. 1 minute left.
the instigators
Crazy.
most of it in this second half, winning balls back and recovering and trying to create as much as he can. Has he got one last throw of the dice?
This is Nicholas Jover, the set-piece coach. What's he concocted here?
El Cooking? Word. That's not even funny, bro.
Declan Rice to take.
That was just shit. Rice sends the cross in. Donnarumma falls over. Foul for PSG. 30 seconds left. And I think they'll end the game off here, bro.
Have a relieving free kick. Nicholas Jover is being sent back to his kennel by the man in charge.
Set piece manager is trying to fight people for whatever reason. Trying to be a main character again. Yeah, I mean, White takes out Donnarumma. That's a foul.
Donnarumma, which is a familiar ploy. Well, they won in the Bernabeu 2 weeks ago. They're going to have to win in Parc de France.
Alright. Alright, 1-0 PSG. Lame ass second half. But PSG played well enough to keep it under control. Arsenal will have to win at Paris, which I don't think they'll do. But, you know, this sport is not very predictable. So, yeah, good shit. I'll see y'all tomorrow for the Barca game. I'll probably be live on a different channel, on my Barca channel. So, yeah.